Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're going to talk about one of the biggest secrets of English fluency. And the secret is very simple. You must talk in English. Not only read, not only listen, not only study grammar. You must speak. Many people spend years learning English, but they still cannot speak confidently. Why? Because they learn English, but they don't use English. Speaking is not the final step of learning English. Speaking is the main step. The more you talk, the faster your English grows. So today, you will learn 10 powerful lessons about why you must talk in English every day. These lessons are simple, practical, and life-changing for beginners. Lesson 1. Talking builds real fluency. Now listen carefully because this is one of the biggest truths in English learning. You cannot become fluent by staying silent. Many people spend years studying English. They read grammar books. They memorize vocabulary. They watch English videos. But when it is time to speak, they freeze. They become nervous. They cannot express simple thoughts. What? Because they learned English, but they did not practice speaking. Fluency is not built inside a notebook. Fluency is built through speaking. English is not only knowledge. English is a skill, and every skill becomes stronger through practice. Think about learning to swim. Can you become a great swimmer only by reading about swimming? Of course not. You must enter the water. You must practice again and again. Speaking English works exactly the same way. You must use your voice every single day. At first, your speaking may feel slow. You may stop in the middle of sentences. You may forget words. You may make mistakes. That is completely normal. Every fluent speaker started like this. But many learners quit too early. They speak once or twice, feel embarrassed, and become silent again. And silence is dangerous because silence stops growth. The more silent you stay, the weaker your speaking becomes. But the more you talk, the stronger your fluency becomes. Your brain learns language through repetition. When you repeat sentences many times, your speaking becomes more natural. For example, at first, even a simple sentence like "How are you?" may feel uncomfortable, but after repeating it many times, it becomes automatic. You stop thinking so much. You just speak. That is how fluency is built. Not in one big moment, but in small daily conversations. Many people say, "I will speak when I become fluent." But this thinking is wrong. You become fluent by speaking, not before speaking. So start speaking now, even if your English is simple, even if your English is imperfect. Because every sentence you speak is one step closer to fluency. Lesson 2. Talking removes fear. One of the biggest reasons people cannot speak English fluently is not grammar. It is not vocabulary. It is fear. Fear of making mistakes. Fear of sounding wrong. Fear of being judged. Fear of not understanding others. Because of this fear, many learners stay silent for years. They understand English. They know many words. But when it is time to speak, their confidence disappears. Their mind becomes blank. This happens to many people. So if you feel this way, you are not alone. But here is the truth. Fear becomes smaller only when you face it. Imagine someone who is afraid of water. If they never enter the water, the fear stays strong forever. But if they slowly practice swimming, the fear starts disappearing little by little. English speaking works the same way. The more you speak, the smaller your fear becomes. At first, your voice may shake. You may feel nervous. That is normal. But every time you speak, your brain learns something important. It learns that speaking English is not dangerous. It learns that you can survive the conversation. Confidence comes after action, not before action. Many learners wait to feel ready before speaking, but most fluent speakers did not feel ready in the beginning either. They simply started. Think about a baby learning to walk. The baby falls many times, but the baby keeps trying, and slowly, walking becomes natural. Speaking English is the same. At first, you may struggle. You may forget words. But if you continue speaking, your fear becomes weaker and your confidence becomes stronger. Silence makes fear stronger. Action makes fear weaker. That is why speaking daily is so powerful. Every small conversation matters. Even simple sentences help. How are you? I am fine. What are you doing? I am studying. Small sentences, but powerful practice. Never let fear control your voice. Your voice matters. Your progress matters. Start small, speak daily, and little by little your fear will disappear. Lesson 3. Talking trains your mouth. Many people believe that speaking English is only about the brain. They think, if I learn grammar, I will speak. If I memorize vocabulary, I will speak. But speaking is not only mental. Speaking is also physical. Your mouth must learn English too. You may understand many English words, but when you try to speak, your mouth feels slow. Your pronunciation feels uncomfortable. Why does this happen? Because your mouth is not trained yet. Think about sports. You can understand the rules of football, but if you never kick the ball, you will never become a real player. Speaking English is exactly the same. You must train your mouth daily. At first, some words may feel difficult. Some sounds may feel strange. That is normal because your mouth is learning new movements. Every language uses different sounds and different rhythms. So if you only study silently, your speaking muscles stay weak. That is why talking every day is so important. The more you speak, the more natural English feels in your mouth. Simple sentences are powerful practice. I am learning English. I want to improve. Today was a busy day. At first, these sentences may feel slow, but after repeating them many times, your mouth becomes faster and smoother. Reading out loud is also very helpful. Take a short paragraph and read slowly and clearly. Listen to short English sentences and repeat them exactly. Copy the pronunciation. Copy the rhythm. This is like exercise for your speaking muscles. At first, it may feel uncomfortable, but after daily practice, your mouth becomes stronger, and slowly, speaking starts feeling natural. Lesson 4. Talking helps you think faster. One of the biggest differences between beginners and fluent speakers is speed. Fluent speakers think quickly. Beginners think slowly because they translate everything inside their mind. First, they hear English. Then they translate it into their own language. Then they think of an answer. Then they translate the answer back into English. This process takes too much time, and because of this, conversations become difficult. But when you talk in English every day, something powerful happens. Your brain becomes faster. The more you speak, the less your brain depends on translation. Slowly, your brain starts connecting ideas directly to English words. This is the beginning of real fluency. Think about your native language. Do you translate before every sentence? Of course not. You simply think and speak naturally. That is exactly what daily talking practice builds in English. At first, your brain may feel tired. You may stop often. You may search for words. That is normal because your brain is building a new system. Every time you speak, your brain practices speed. Every sentence becomes mental training. A powerful habit is asking yourself simple questions in English. What am I doing? How do I feel? What do I want? Then answer immediately. I am studying. I feel tired. I want to improve my English. These are simple answers, but powerful brain training. Slowly, your brain becomes faster, your reactions become more natural, and your English starts flowing more smoothly. Lesson 5. Talking improves pronunciation. Many learners want clear pronunciation, but they are afraid to speak. This is the problem. Pronunciation does not improve through silence. Pronunciation improves through talking. You cannot train your pronunciation only by reading grammar books. You must hear words and say them again and again. Think about music. A singer becomes better by singing, not by only reading song lyrics. English works the same way. Your pronunciation improves when your mouth practices English sounds daily. At first, some words may feel difficult. Some sounds may feel strange. You may pronounce words incorrectly. That is completely normal. Every learner goes through this stage. The important thing is to continue speaking. Repetition is one of the strongest tools for pronunciation. For example, a word like comfortable may feel difficult at first, but if you repeat it many times, your mouth slowly learns the movement. Another powerful method is shadowing. Listen to a short sentence and repeat it exactly. Copy the sound. Copy the rhythm. Copy the speed. I want to improve my English. Repeat it again and again. This trains your mouth and ears together. Reading out loud is also powerful. Even 10 minutes a day can improve your pronunciation, and slowly, your speaking becomes clearer and smoother. People understand you more easily. That is the power of daily speaking practice. Lesson 6. Talking helps you remember better. Many learners study vocabulary and grammar, but after some time, they forget everything. Why? Because the brain remembers better when you use information, not when you only read it. Reading helps you recognize words. Listening helps you understand words. But speaking helps you own those words. Imagine you learn the word confident. If you only read the word, you may forget it quickly. But if you say, I want to become confident, or I feel more confident today, the word becomes active in your memory. This is how memory works. Your brain remembers what you use repeatedly. That is why speaking is so powerful. Every time you speak, you strengthen your memory. When you talk in English, your brain remembers vocabulary, builds sentences, chooses grammar, and controls pronunciation at the same time. This active process creates stronger memory connections. But silent learning is different. You recognize information, but you do not fully use it. That is why many learners say, I understand English, but I cannot speak. Their knowledge is passive, not active. Talking changes passive knowledge into active knowledge. Another important thing is emotional memory. Your brain remembers things better when emotions are connected. If you say, I was nervous today, you remember the sentence better because it connects to your real feelings. So whenever you learn a new word, use it immediately in speaking. This simple habit can completely change your memory and help you remember English much faster. Lesson 7. Talking builds confidence in real life. Many people think confidence comes first. They think, when I become confident, then I will speak English. But this is not true. Confidence comes because of action. The more you talk in English, the more confident you become. At the beginning, almost every learner feels nervous. Your heart beats faster. Your mind becomes blank. You worry about mistakes. But every time you speak, your brain learns something important. It learns, I can do this. Slowly, fear becomes smaller and confidence becomes stronger. Real confidence is not perfect grammar or a perfect accent. Real confidence is feeling comfortable expressing yourself. Many learners stay silent because they want perfect English first, but this creates a dangerous cycle. No speaking, no confidence. No confidence, no speaking. The only way to break this cycle is simple. Start talking, even with mistakes, even with fear. Every conversation is practice. Every sentence builds experience. Slowly, you stop seeing yourself as someone learning English. You start seeing yourself as someone who speaks English. That identity change is powerful, and one day, you realize something beautiful. You stop fearing conversations. You stop overthinking every sentence. You start enjoying speaking. That is real confidence. Lesson 8. Talking helps you improve through mistakes. Many learners are afraid of mistakes. They think mistakes are bad, but the truth is the opposite. Mistakes are part of growth. Every fluent speaker made thousands of mistakes. Wrong grammar, wrong pronunciation, wrong vocabulary, but they improved because they continued speaking. Think about a baby learning to walk. The baby falls many times, but the baby keeps trying, and slowly, walking becomes natural. English speaking works exactly the same way. When you make mistakes while speaking, your brain learns. Your brain notices the problem and slowly improves. But if you never speak, your brain never gets this training. Silence feels safe, but silence slows growth. Speaking feels uncomfortable, but speaking creates improvement. So stop trying to be perfect. Your goal is communication and progress. Another important thing is this. Mistakes help you remember better. When you make a mistake and correct it, your brain remembers the lesson more strongly. So instead of saying, "I made a mistake," say, "I learned something." This mindset can completely change your confidence. Never let mistakes stop your voice. Use mistakes as tools for growth. Lesson 9. Talking makes English feel natural. At the beginning, English feels strange. You think too much. You translate every sentence. Sometimes even simple words feel difficult. This happens because English still feels new to your brain. Many learners only study English in books. They memorize grammar and vocabulary, but after studying, they return completely to their native language. Because of this, English never becomes part of their real life. That is why talking is so important. Talking makes English feel alive and real. The more you speak, the more natural English becomes. Think about your native language. You do not stop and think about grammar rules before speaking. You simply express yourself naturally because you use that language every day for many years. English can become natural too, but only if you use it regularly. Every time you speak, your brain becomes more familiar with English. At first, speaking may feel uncomfortable, but after daily conversations, something changes. Your brain stops treating English like a difficult school subject. It starts treating English like communication. That is a huge difference. A powerful habit is speaking English during small moments. Talk about your day. Describe your surroundings. Express your feelings. I am drinking water. The weather is nice. I feel happy today. These simple habits slowly train your brain to live with English. And one day, English stops feeling foreign. It starts feeling natural. Lesson 10. Talking changes your identity. At first, you feel like someone who is learning English. You feel nervous. You feel unsure. You think too much before speaking. But when you start talking in English every day, something slowly changes. You stop feeling like a beginner. You start feeling like a person who actually speaks English. And this change is powerful because your identity controls your actions. If you believe, "I cannot speak English," you stay silent. But when you start believing, I am someone who speaks English. Your confidence grows and your fluency improves faster. Talking daily changes how you see yourself. And once your identity changes, everything becomes easier. The more you talk in English, the more English becomes part of who you are. Before you leave this video, remember one important thing. English fluency is not built by staying silent. It is built by talking. Even small sentences matter. Even imperfect English matters. Because every time you speak, your fear becomes smaller, your confidence becomes stronger, and your fluency becomes better. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Start today. Speak a little every day. Talk to yourself. Talk to other people. Use your voice because your voice is the key to your fluency. And if this video helped you understand English in a new way, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay connected with this journey. We are not here to study English forever. We are here to speak it confidently. I will see you in the next video.